Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Abenyamonge Media for today's stories and detailed analysis from Kenya and all the four corners of the world. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to our channel. If you're watching for the first time, always remember to subscribe and like a video. Guza tu subscribe button hapo chini na ulike pia a video. So straight to our story today is that there was an opinion poll that was conducted by the famous Osama Otero. If you remember very well, this is the Twitter, the X handle that had hosted President Ruto during the after the financial bill protests. If you remember, Ruto addressing Gen Z through X handle, which attracted a lot of people.
Mr. President, surely mbona unanyamaza alafu unapenda uongo sana? Unaona tu vitu vinafanyika when it gets out of hand, alafu unaanza kuongea. Saizi
it's a very popular channel that has about 670,000 followers, and this guy ran an opinion poll between 4 candidates. That was President Ruto, Fred Matiangi, Okiya Omtata, and Kalonzo Musyoka. And that poll attracted 17,270 votes. And these are the results, as you can see on your screen, that William Samoei Ruto got 23% of the votes, Fred Matiang'i got 35% of the votes, Okiya Omtata got 33% of the votes, and Kalonzo Musyoka got 9% of the votes. I've been asking myself questions why this guy did not put Rigathi Gachagua on the poll. Maybe it's because of the cases, and Rigathi Gachagua as declared that he might support Kalonzo Musyoka in the 2027 general election. But from the percentage we have seen, it's clear that Fred Matiang'i is the one who won that opinion poll, and closely followed by Okiya Omtata, of course, with a margin of 2%. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you the exact figures. The 23% you see of President William Samoei Ruto out of the 17,000 people voted means that Ruto got 3,900 votes. Fred Matiang'i, the 35%, got 6,045 votes. Okiya Omtata got 5,699 votes, and Kalonzo Musyoka got 1,554,000 votes. And the questions that a lot of people have been asking, as much as a lot of people have been expressing their interest and saying Ruto must go, and some people saying how they're frustrated with the government, especially the Gen Z, they have not given an alternative name of a person who is going to replace President Ruto. And if you ask Gen Zs today, okay, you are saying President Ruto is going. Who have you decided to go and replace President Ruto? On that point, they are divided. Everybody will tell you a different name. Like from this opinion poll, we have seen that Fred Matiang'i, Okiya Omtata, who are the popular candidates here, and I remember that this opinion poll mostly was voted by the Gen Zs because they're the people who are mostly on X handle and the younger generation, and I think a greater percentage of it were votes from the Gen Z. So, ladies and gentlemen, and one thing you cannot underestimate is that President William Samoei Ruto will still get votes in the 2027 general election. And I've always said this, especially if Baba is going to win the AU seat. You can't underestimate the fact that President William Samoei Ruto will get significant number of votes. Like from this opinion poll, President Ruto has pulled a surprise of 23% votes, just a margin of 12% votes from Fred Matiang'i, who is leading in this opinion poll. Ladies and gentlemen, you can tell me who is your favorite candidate in the comment section. Do you think it's Fred Matiang'i? Do you think it's Okiya Omtata? Do you think it's Kalonzo Musyoka? Or do you think that President Ruto will be re-elected in the 2027 general election? You can comment in the comment section who is your favorite candidate. Who do you think is the favorite candidate of the 4? But the biggest question is, if President Ruto is a must go, as a lot of Kenyans have been expressing, who is the suitable candidate with the qualities to remove President Ruto? It's another question also Gen Z have not answered, because the scenario will go like this: Ruto must go, Ruto must go, and 2027 they will divide their votes as we've seen. Remember that if Fred Matiang'i gets that 5%, Okiya Omtata gets that 3%, and they're running from different parties. Kalonzo Musyoka is also running with Rigathi Gachagua. I think if Rigathi Gachagua will put his hand in, will support Kalonzo Musyoka, the percentage of Kalonzo Musyoka is going to significantly also go very high. And this one at the end of the day is going to make a rerun in the 2027 general election, because it's now evident that if these candidates are going to be on the ballot, if they're not going to form coalitions, if Okiya Omtata is going to insist to reach the presidency, Fred Matiang'i comes as himself, Ruto comes as himself, and Kalonzo and Rigathi come as themselves, then it's quite clear that that election will be determined in the second round. So the second round is that the first candidate and the second candidate will run, and they will receive support of the other candidates, that's number 3 and 4, and they will receive support of other candidates who didn't win that election. So what do you think? Will President Ruto make a number 1 or a number 2 in the 2027 general election? But this, as I've always said, greatly determines on the Raila Odinga AU bid. If Raila Odinga wins AU bid, then President William Samoei Ruto will still increase in the numbers that he's getting from the Raila constituents. That's the Raila Odinga strongholds. Remember that the 23%, even now I believe that majority of it must have come from the Raila constituents, because they have seen the efforts that President Ruto is giving to ensure that Raila gets that AU seat as he continued to campaign. Yesterday he was in Algeria, I think, where he met the Prime Minister, and he is intensifying his campaigns, and that election is going to be conducted on the 15th of February, that's next month. It's not far, about 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks to that election. And after that election, the politics of Kenya will take a different turn. If Raila Odinga wins, then trust me that he will increase its popularity in the Luo Nyanza region and parts of Western, and even in the coastal region from the Raila Odinga strong supporters. If he loses, then President Ruto will hang on a line, especially from the constituents of Raila Odinga. Some of the people won't support President Ruto if Raila Odinga loses that AU seat. And that's why even when we have been having protests that we have been seeing that have been happening, none has happened in the Raila Odinga strongholds. We haven't seen protests in Kisumu, and we haven't seen even significant protests in Western region, and even the coastal region, they have not been that impactful. Others, you can tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think that at the end of the day, the election is going to narrow down to Fred Matiang'i, Okiya Omtata, and President Ruto and Kalonzo Musyoka? Or if this split votes is going to happen, then the election will be determined by the second round. Ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day.